Welcome to episode 58 of the Yalla Habibi podcast.
Welcome.
That's how we always start, isn't it? Welcome. The best way to welcome everyone.
What can I say except you're welcome? And we usually have me singing something.
We do. So now the intro has been correctly done. We're always so crap with intros. But yes, we are back on the Yalla Habibi podcast. Sorry we missed you last week. We had a family challenge to deal with. I don't know.
Yeah, we had a family funeral, and that's pretty much all I want to say about it on here.
Yeah, sadly, it happens in life. It's sad. But yeah, we had some personal things. But we want to move on to Albania for a moment because we kind of want to apologise to Albania.
Yes, well, because we were based in Durrës and it was a little bit lacklustre, we should say.
It was lacklustre. I personally
nice.
Wouldn't recommend it. The downtown is fun. The downtown is great. It's quite active, I must say. There's a lot of people there. The downtown, the shops, it's good vibes. But outside of that, it does have some really nice beach bars. But I don't know. There's probably some nicer spots down south, like we recommend. What is it, Kazmil?
Simil.
Sorry.
It begins with a K, but it's a silent K, I think.
Yeah, Simil and a couple of others. But of course, that is like another 6 hours down south driving. So if you can't get down south, then it is a happy medium. But you're just not going to get... Probably down south, it'd be way less touristy. And you probably get a better range of food, I would assume.
Yeah, because like as we mentioned on the last episode, it is all the menus are exactly the same. Like it is the only place we could find with something other than pizza, pasta, burgers, meat, fish, the usual menu, was like a Western Tex-Mex play, like cowboy bar. So yeah, and I imagine that surely other places would be better, we didn't think that at first until we got to the capital, Tirana. We just made an assumption that all of Albania was going to be similar in its lack of variety of food.
And I think it's not like we were negligible, is that the right word? Naive?
Yeah.
Naive. Because we did have the evidence of being in the Balkans for the last, 4 weeks. So... And there is a lot of similarities. Of course, every country has its own cultures and entertainment and food and everything, of course. But there's a lot of similarities between the Balkans countries. And there was a similarity between a big cafe culture and the exact same menus. So there was reason to why we were like, well, again, we've now been at the Balkans for like 4+ weeks and it's just the same again. So that's why we thought this. But like you said, we went to Tirana. It was a completely different experience.
It felt like a different country.
It honestly did, yeah.
And like the food, let me think, what did we have in Tirana? We had some really nice, authentic Albanian food in that restaurant that was like in a garden. It's like called Ode's Garden, I think, something like that. But that was lovely. And then there was this like American Albanian cafe that was called Bitter, and that was lovely as well. Yeah, Oda's Garden, is that it?
Yeah, Oda's Garden. It's quite hidden, so don't be confused if maps takes you there and you go, oh, this doesn't look like the right way. You have to like go kind of in an alleyway, but it's a nice alleyway. It's got really nice paintings on the wall of depicting some history. But if you go around there and go around the corner, you'll probably find a bunch of meowing cats. Yeah. If you hear some meowing cats, you're going in the right way.
Yeah, they're so cute.
And they're so cute, and just keep going. And it'll open up to this beautiful courtyard with these, was it lemon trees or lime trees?
Oh, yeah, I can't remember which.
They were like these beautiful, I think, lemon trees. It looks like lemon on the picture. But anyway, it's beautiful tree. It's a beautiful like courtyard. Even has some live entertainment there.
Yeah, there's like a corner where they got a stage set up, haven't they? So sadly we didn't see any of the live music, but it was just like really atmospheric. Like it felt like it felt secluded. It felt private. It felt authentic. Like and Waiters were lovely, and they knew like vegan food, what what to recommend, and so on. I had stuffed peppers. You had cheese.
I read it and it sounded like it was going to be similar to yours, but it came and it was just a massive bowl of like cottage cheese. No, it might have been ricotta. And bread. I was like, oh, okay.
Very oily as well.
Very oily. It was nice, but I was just like, and blooming heck, it was filling.
Yeah.
It was hella filling, so that's a positive. But I just thought it was going to be a bit more. But we always want to try the local dishes, so I'm happy I tried it. The next morning was a little tough, though.
Yeah, it didn't sit well with you, did it?
No, I'm not someone who gets constipated, but my goodness, I had a bit of a battle in the next morning. But we're trying to apologise here, and I feel like we're not doing a very good job. We're still... Tirana, the food, we got all the varieties. I mean, we had sushi, we had
Indian food. That was
Indian food.
First Indian restaurant in
apparently
Albania.
It's the only Indian restaurant in Albania. Well, that's what it says online. It says it's the only Indian restaurant
That's wild.
in the whole of Albania. It's in a cinema as well, which is strange. But
I
it's
had a falafel. Oh, sorry, go on.
What?
I was going to say I had a falafel wrap.
You had a falafel wrap, not in the Indian, somewhere else. So we did get a good range of food. And just the vibe was great. Like where that cinema is, that's a really cool spot. I think it's called Millennium Square.
Millennium Garden, I think.
Millennium Garden, and it's a really cool spot. Like that whole area is cool. What's the fort next to it?
Oh God, I don't know.
Well, anyway, if you go to Millennium Garden, I would say that's a nice spot to go out. Couple, family, solo. You can get some nice drinks there. Cool vibes. You get the historical piece of the fort, and there's all like mini shops and restaurants in there. There's like live entertainment usually on the streets. It's a really cool vibe. There's even down the road, there's a live open, what do they call them? Open door cinemas?
Open air.
Open air cinemas. Well, there's one, and apparently there's something on every night there.
Yeah, like one night they were doing karaoke, weren't they? Well, I don't know if it's karaoke or they'd got up YouTube karaoke on the screen, but it seemed to be like the same three people that were doing it. So whether they were just singers that were putting on a show. But do you remember that the first night?
Yes, I do, yeah.
And then one of the nights they were showing The Emperor's New Groove. It was in Albanian, but...
Yeah. Of course, we were in Albania. So, but yeah, what did you enjoy about it, my darling?
I liked the atmosphere. It felt like, it had character. It had like more to it than, like Dora's had some interesting things like the amphitheatre in the Venetian Tower and stuff. Like it did have some history and culture, but it felt like there was more culture in Tirana, which like it kind of surprised me because I always feel like capital cities are not as good as some other cities.
That's usually the case.
Yeah, like when we, for example, when we went to Germany, we didn't go to Berlin, but like Mainz was way nicer than Frankfurt.
Oh, Mainz was great.
Yeah, like in the smaller cities, tend to have more character and more about them. But interestingly, we only did Durrës and Tirana, but I think Tirana was great, and I would definitely recommend Tirana for like a weekend trip, an extended weekend. You go Friday to Monday. I think that would be a good amount of time to see it and do like we went in the bunker. Art
Yeah, it's called Bunker Art. There's 1 and 2 Bunker Art. I think it's number 1 that's in the centre, and then number 2 is a little further out.
I think that was number 2.
Oh well, number 2's in either way.
Yeah.
Same. It's just 2 different bunkers, but it's quite interesting. It has a mixture of art and also what do you call it? Not memorabilia, but
yeah, like curated items from, I don't know what the word is. I can't think of it right now, but
items from the communist era, from wars, from spies, everything. It just showed you the whole sort of communist regime and the secret police, how they're involved, how they spied on people. It was really interesting. Also pretty morbid at times.
Yeah.
Because what I didn't realise, what I'm learning, which I'm sorry if I've been naive here, but I understood years ago that the only concentration camps that had happened was in, it was Hitler in the world,
Germany,
Nazi Germany. But now, having travelled, I've learned that working camps have been operated in many wars.
Yeah, I also didn't know that. Like, I guess because we never learned about the Balkan Wars and like the communists. We've not learned about Yugoslavia, that region, like anything. Like, we learn about the World War, like Ireland conflict, like American West in history.
Yeah.
Like, and monarchy. Like, we didn't learn about other wars.
No, Vikings.
Yeah.
Roman Empire,
Yeah.
the Victorians. Yeah.
Basically, if it didn't pertain to Britain, we didn't learn it.
No. So that's shocked me. Yeah, there was a lot of work, and that was the morbid room for me because it had this sad music on, and it just had this list of like 5,000 people who died in these working camps.
And that was because of their political beliefs.
Yeah, it's because they just openly argued against communism.
Yeah.
Which is just insane, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely a sad but interesting experience. I mean, I had to sit down for a bit, didn't I? And, oh God, you could go in. Whose room was it? Like, there was a whole bedroom and everything that you could go in.
Oh, that was the Prime Minister, and it was Enver Hoxha. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really... I couldn't stay in that room very long. It really weirded me out, gave me mega haunted vibes.
It was... They'd maintained it very well. Like, he had a receptionist room, then the main room with, like, the table. And it's quite cool. The map was, like, built into the table so you could see where they would have done their planning for the war. What creeped me out most wasn't actually the bedroom, which was really creepy. It was the TV. Do you know what was on that TV?
No.
So that was the first... Apparently what it was like... it's not Live Aid, but think of a Live Aid type event. It was that type of event that was basically celebrating communism. And it was a live event, so that event on the TV that was playing was a real event that happened. And all the songs, all the speeches, everything had subliminal messages in, if you look at them, basically communicating the positivity of communism.
Wow.
And how good it is. And everyone in there, it was completely, it was planned, it was a celebration of it. So that was like the massive global event, nationwide event to celebrate it. So a lot of those people on stage, whilst they may not have believed in it, they didn't have much choice than this is the song you're singing today.
Interesting. Yeah, that would have been pretty creepy. I mean, there's countries today that, I imagine very much resemble that.
North Korea.
Well, yeah.
I know it's a dictatorship, but they do similar events, don't they?
Yeah, but is a communist regime led by a dictator? I don't really understand the difference between dictatorship and a communist regime.
Communist is everyone's equal. So, like, everyone, like, Cuba's a communist country.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone's equal. So, a very basic explanation here, because I'm not, but everyone gets paid the same.
Yeah.
Everyone receives the same amount of food. It's just everything's equal. Dictatorship is whatever I say goes.
Yeah, who's maintaining the communist regime? Would it not be a dictator?
It would be the Prime Minister. Yeah, he would be enforcing it. I guess there is probably... even though they're defined differently, I guess you could argue there's an element of dictatorship, isn't there? Because he's saying this is the way we're going to live. Because it's not voted in, I don't believe. I think that was just... from when we were reading down there, it was just, this is the way we're going to be now. Loads of people fought against it. They got, killed off. And then eventually, I think in 1985 was when the communist regime finished.
It's so wild that's like you think about what's in like living memory, like how different things were. My brother was born in 89, so like that was just 4 years before he was born.
It's crazy.
That all this was happening. Like, that's wild.
And think about if you still lived, if you lived through it and your brother had been killed for speaking out against it, and now you live in a country that isn't communist and it's okay.
Yeah.
To think your brother, your sister, your mother got killed for that.
Yeah.
That's pretty gut-wrenching.
Absolutely.
So we apologise to Albania. Tirana, amazing. Drez, I'm not sure, but I'm sure down south will be a bit better. But yeah, the main thing was it actually had a variation of food, which
Yes.
I'll be honest, I was quite shocked by.
Yeah.
I was quite shocked because Kosovo didn't, in Pristina, which is the capital of Kosovo, and Podgorica was a little bit limited as well, which is the capital of Montenegro. So Tirana was a bit different.
Yeah, and that is, a big part of my enjoyment of travel is trying the food, trying new cuisines, and yeah, to be faced with you don't have any choice. I'm used to that as a vegan, but there's at least something that's different. Usually, I think that's the most limited we've been on travels, and that's not because of a lack of vegetarian vegan options.
No, Singapore, that was tough.
No, Singapore was good. We had some good food in Singapore, didn't we?
I remember everything just having fish oil in.
Yeah.
Singapore did have a lot of choice. I think maybe it's because of the days I'm thinking of when we were in the Chinese Chinatown.
Yeah, but there was that really good veggie Chinese restaurant. Do you remember we went to that? And they had even one wasn't even had vegan shark fin soup.
Oh yes, that was good. Yeah, strange to be celebrating that, but yeah, that was good.
Yeah, no, but that it's vegan and not. No sharks were harmed in the making of this soup.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
that's Albania.
Yeah, that is Albania. Some things I totally forgot at the start of the episode. We're so crap at this. Is we don't promote ourselves enough at all. But we do need to start saying, please do subscribe.
Yes.
We've had our most views ever listen to our last 2 episodes, which is amazing for us to see.
Yeah.
We're glad it was the most of the last 2 episodes. So
yeah, a significant increase.
Yeah. I think it was a 4x increase. Yeah. So really great. So yeah, if you could please to give us a subscribe, a like, a share, a rate us. Any of those are amazing. If you give us all of those, you're double amazing. Again, we're a small podcast. We're up and coming. And this really helps us. It might not help a Joe Rogan podcast, but us, it helps significantly.
Yeah.
Because we don't have many of these things. So any of those, all of those would be incredibly appreciated.
Please like and subscribe.
More news, interestingly, about our travels. Whilst we haven't been there recently, but Thailand, goodness, with everything going on, you could talk about all sorts going on with Thailand right now, Thailand and Cambodia. But we're just going to shift gears and focus on the marijuana aspect at the moment, because we just found that quite interesting. So when we went there over, I think it was last year, so in 24, marijuana was totally legal, and it was hilarious how many coffee shops there were. It was like, there's more a coffee shop is where you can smoke marijuana, by the way, not to confuse it with like a cafe. But there was more coffee shops than a cafe or a bar or anything. And we found that fascinating.
So I've never heard them called coffee shops. Scott was informing me that's what they're called in Amsterdam. I've seen them called smoke shops in Thailand, but
yeah. So in Amsterdam they call them like coffee shops. But yeah, you could call them a smoke shop as well. That makes a lot more sense, but that's what they call them in Amsterdam. So yeah, coffee shop, smoke shop. But it's hilarious how many there are.
It's like everywhere, pretty much. Like on the street, it'll be like restaurant, smoke shop, like everywhere in Thailand.
Yeah, it's exploded, and it's funny because it's only been decriminalised for only a few years. So
yeah, like next to no time, and that came about by an accident, didn't it? Like so the government planned to legalise medical marijuana, and for whatever reason, the bit of the legislature that said that it's only for medical purposes didn't get passed in time, and so they accidentally legalised it. So it was like a loophole, but there was nothing that the government could do. Thai people are pretty much against it. Like, most Thai people hate that that's what the country's become, and that there's, if you'd see people smoke, you'd see locals like covering their nose, and, it's a known thing that the locals hate it. So I think they were pro medical use because of the significant benefits of it. But anyway, so what they've now done, like it exploded and everyone could legally, though accidentally, open a smoke shop. They have now managed to pass that bit of law that says that it has to be for medical use only. And now all those smoke shops, they still exist, but it's my understanding that they have to have a medical professional on site that can prescribe, like give you a prescription card. So like, you know, if you, like in the UK, it's actually legal, medical marijuana. You just need to have some sort of condition that is on their list. I mean, that could be migraines, it could be insomnia, it could be anxiety. Like, you know, pretty much every person alive will have something on the list that would allow them to be prescribed the drug. But you now need a prescription.
So it's interesting because apparently there's a 30-day leeway since it came in. So it's 30 days until you have to get this. But I mean, I've seen people online from other countries that are saying they've got it very easily. So I don't think it's a challenging thing to get. Like you said, everyone's probably got an ailment that probably what's the word?
Qualifies them
for it. So yeah. So it's one of those things, isn't it? But for me, you know, that would make me a bit uneasy because a minute ago it was totally legal. So, you know, you could do it and you know, you're not going to get arrested. And obviously before that you would have been thrown in prison potentially for life. And there's lots of banged up abroads to show that. But now there's this grey area if you need it medical. Like, I know you can get a certificate and I think you can get them for 30 days. But I don't know. I just think the locals don't like it. Now there's this little hurdle. I would feel uneasy if you had this certificate, but, you know, you met the wrong police officer.
Yeah.
Or the wrong local who just wasn't happy with you. Or just wanted to do a, you know, tell a tourist off, whatever. I would feel a bit uneasy about them just ripping that up or just saying, no, you didn't have one. You've done it illegal. Or you have too much on you.
Yeah.
You know, you should only have, you know, whatever. You should only be smoking in the shop and shouldn't have any on you, whatever. Like, I would be really worried that they're going to start doing things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd feel a bit uneasy about it, even with that now.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just an interesting one how it accidentally happened and then they've wrapped it all back up. But I mean, a lot of business owners are not going to be happy.
No, well, that's the craziest thing because of the thousands, you know, and thousands of shops that have popped up, you know, goodness, and the amount of money they've put into renting that property, you know, making the shops, you know, if you go into a coffee shop, they're, you know, branded really nice and everything. So yeah, goodness, I can't imagine. They might have to just turn into cafes.
Yeah, maybe so.
Oh, the heck.
Oh, interesting.
There we go. Interesting. There were even more stuff we wanted to get into. We wanted to do a bit of a woman versus men segment, but we'll get into that in our next episode. And we've got a really cool thing about some bizarre thing about lava lamps next episode as well. So definitely drop in, check in, drop in.
Check it out.
Check it out. If you are new to the episode, as you'll have learnt, Shelby is the grammar. She provides the grammar and the elocution.
And the vocabulary.
And the vocabulary, because my head's broken and it can't provide that. I'm dyslexic, as well as many things. No, you're not. No, we both are, very. Soon to be certified in probably many other things as well.
And we say that literally, just to be clear, we're not just saying, oh, we're dyslexic. Like, cause, you
no,
know,
we
I feel
actually
like
are.
some people,
We actually are.
Some people go, oh, I can't read that, I'm so dyslexic, but they're not actually dyslexic.
On to Scott's WTF of the week. Every week the world gets a little weirder. Let's talk about the strangest thing that went down this week. Man declared legally dead despite sitting in a courtroom.
Was he sitting dead in the courtroom?
Was he sitting dead in the courtroom? Let me tell you. So Donald Eugene Miller, who was a living man from Ohio, was officially declared legally dead after vanishing for 8 years. And the 61-year-old disappeared. So he disappeared from his rental home. 19 years ago during a battle with alcoholism. Now, the judge, because Miller was missing for over 7 years, Ohio law considers him deceased, even though he was right there in the court, healthy and well. So because he disappeared for over 7 years, he was disappeared for 8 years, their law actually considers him dead. So apparently the judge had to uphold a 94 ruling that actually deemed him dead in the eyes of the law. So even though he eventually ended up in court, that many years later, what he said was he left to escape his addiction of alcoholism, and he's been trying to rebuild his life since returning to Ohio in 2005. You can understand that. I can understand if someone's trying to fix themselves. Sometimes you just need to get out of the situation. Sometimes that means drastic situation, like just dropping everything. And especially if you're an alcoholic, you might be around the wrong people. That's influencing you. You might just want to get out quickly. So I can totally respect that. But it's really bad because of this, he's lost his social security number, his driving license, and he's now opting for a petition to get them back. That's if he can afford another court hearing, which he's struggling with, it seems. And his ex-wife, interestingly, his ex-wife apparently pushed for the death ruling so their children could receive benefits.
Interesting.
So that's pretty crazy. So he's not dead, but Ohio law states that he is because he was missing for so long, so they declared him dead. He's come back. But what's not made it any easier is his ex-wife has pushed to keep that because it gives her children benefit. Which again, I don't know. There's an interesting debate there, isn't there? Because that sounds totally fucked. I can totally understand him being gone for 7 years, so to have, put forward that. The legal system probably would have put forward that, but to still be pushing that when he's come back, I think that's a bit, I don't know, you might argue saying, hey, she's been left for all that time and she wants those benefits to look after the kids. But I don't know. I don't think that's worthy of taking someone's life away in the digital world.
So, would he, he would probably owe, what do they call it? It's not alimony. Is it alimony? Yeah, I think it is. When it's typically in the States, I've heard, this is a very stereotypical example, but if the father leaves, then he has to pay the mother, I think it's called alimony, where it's, money towards helping the kids. Kind of like, I don't know what we call it here, but there is, where the parent who is not the primary caregiver has to pay child support.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So he'd be paying that if he was alive, and because he was announced dead, then they get something else instead. But I can understand why she might say, well, now you're alive, you've got to start paying child support. Because presumably when he was missing for those 7 years, he wasn't paying the child support. And that's why.
No, otherwise then they could declare him alive, couldn't they?
Yeah. But it's isn't that just so stupid that there are laws that can say you're dead, even though he stood there being like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, it's like, how can they not overrule that? And they say, oh, well, this is why we put you as deceased, because you're missing. We can find you, therefore we'll put you down as deceased, but you're alive, you're here, so...
Yeah, so we're going to fix it.
Fix it. I don't understand why they can't fix that. That seems like a batshit crazy thing to not fix.
They just shrug it and be like, well, you don't exist.
Yeah. So he's in this now loophole of not existing. And again, he can't get a social security number, he can't get a license, which will mean he won't be able to get a lot of things, right? I don't know if he'll be able to open a bank account, there'll be so many things he legally won't be able to do. That's
so weird.
If he tried to travel, he won't exist. So then, oh my God, you'd get arrested immediately. Be like, who are you? You're a spy. You don't exist. He won't be able to. Well, he won't be able to. He won't be able to get a passport.
Yeah.
It's mental, and all just because he made the. There was. Obviously he had kids at the time then, so that's a sad aspect that he just left them.
Yeah.
But it's a tough one, isn't it? I think I could argue both sides. He did what was right for him and that's fixed him, but it's also damaged others. So it's...
Yeah, but to let your
Yeah.
kids think that you were dead as well, like that's
yeah,
brutal.
that is bad.
Interesting story.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one.
Well, I don't know. I've got so many thoughts.
Or share them.
Well, now I'm just thinking, like, I mean, like, I think a lot of people probably at some point think, what if I just disappeared off the face of the earth? And he did. And so now, like today, do we know, has he got any, does he exist?
The last that I read, he doesn't. I'm sure it's changing every day, though, because I'm sure he's fighting for it. So,
Well, so what if he committed a crime then? Would he go to prison because he doesn't exist? How are they going to process him?
well, exactly. He's in a very unique position that he could probably, as much as it's stifling him, he might be able to commit, break the law in many ways and get away with it. I don't know how that works, really.
But yeah, I mean, like getting a job, you need a social security number. How's he been surviving for the 7 years? Like, if he's not had a job, which if he
Well,
doesn't
no, he very likely could have had a job. He went to live somewhere else.
Yeah, but his your social security number is like your national insurance number in the UK.
Oh, okay.
So like you wouldn't be able to get a job without one. Well, I mean, unless he was doing cash in hand. But I mean,
There's a lot of questions,
there's a
isn't
lot
there?
of questions. Yes, I'd love to see a documentary on it.
I tell you what, for the first time ever, what I'll do is I'll dig a little deeper, and on the next episode, I'll bring an update on it.
Fantastic. Yeah, in your segment next week.
Yeah, I'll do, for the first time ever, I'll bring an update on it next week.
Interesting.
There we go.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I guess it's now time for Shelby's Good Vibes Only. So let's take a break from the chaos. Here's something to make you smile this week. Shelby's Good Vibes Only. It came home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home.
Yes.
It's coming home. England's Lionesses won the Euros. The first team ever to win back-to-back Euros
Wow.
in history.
Really?
Yep. And that's men's or women's.
Oh my God.
They are smashing it. Like, do you know what, right? I mean, because we originally were going to have like this men versus women thing, which is why I chose this.
We will carry on
Vibes Only.
the segment next. We will do that segment next episode. I'm excited for that one.
Me too.
We just need a bit more time for it.
We do. But yeah, like so during the war, women's football was massive, and because obviously the men were at war, and sport became so popular. But when the war ended, it was just suppressed because they didn't want women's football to be overtaking men's football. But I mean, they're just showing time and time again how much better they are than the men's team. Not only in terms of results, but in terms of their sportswomanship, would you call it? They help each other up when they, if one of them falls on the other team, they'll help them up. Yet there is a bit of, obviously, there's going to be arguing and stuff, but they're respectful. Like one of the lionesses was playing with a broken leg, and she only went off when she physically couldn't walk anymore.
What?
Yeah, she got either a fracture or a break in a leg, and she was like
How the?
still going on until she literally couldn't.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could even stand with even a fracture, a hairline fracture. You'd be wincing every step.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, I think that just shows, because like in the men's team, all it takes is like a tap and
tap
on the floor crying.
A blade of grass in the eye.
Yeah, literally.
My eye, check my eye, check my eye.
But and also, I think it was Chloe Kelly. In her penalty, it was the fastest goal out of any player, including the men's Premier teams.
The penalty.
The penalty.
Was the
the
fastest
speed.
taken penalty. Oh, okay. The speed of the ball.
Yeah, I think it's 114 or 111 kilometres an hour.
Fuck.
Faster than the fastest men's goal. If that doesn't just tell you
that's unbelievable.
that women's football is better, I don't know what more have they got to do. And this is like I mean, we could go into the whole next episode, we will, but about how women have to do so much more than men to be even considered all right. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have to, you know, it's like we had a discussion about parents. You know, a dad can do the bare minimum, such as brush his daughter's hair. He's such a good dad.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, the women have to, I don't even know what she'd have to do to be considered an exceptional mother. Because all mothers are exceptional.
In society, you're expected versus a man doing it. It's not a norm.
Yeah.
So if you see a dad picking them up from school or brushing their hair on a TikTok, then it's like, oh, how sweet.
Exactly.
I wish my dad did that.
Yeah. And like the women have to literally win back-to-back Euros to be considered.
Yeah.
And they're still not paid equal. Like, what?
Oh, yeah. I saw a really misogynistic comments online about that recently. It was just there's so many dumb people online about this.
Yeah. Well, it's just, you know, it's pathetic. Like, I think men can't handle that women are better players than them. But it's just my humble opinion. But we'll talk more about this next episode. I think we should.
We should. I could tell you're passionate and ready for it. But yeah, we'll wrap up.
Yeah. Please remember, like, subscribe, share, rate us on Spotify, etc.
Well done, Boo. Thank you for remembering to do that. Okay. Really do. It really helps as a small up-and-coming podcast, and we love all of the new listeners and the original OGs. We love you all.
Yes, we do.
But now it's time to wrap up. Another adventure wrapped up.
But the journey never ends.
Keep your bags packed for the next one. And remember, when in doubt, just say, Yalla Habibi. See you next time.